In this video, I'll be sharing the #1 reason why subliminal affirmations are not working for you. Before we get into this video, I would just like to say that if you're new here in your series about your personal and spiritual development, I'd love to welcome you to subscribe and remember to hit the bell notification so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's get into this one. What's the #1 reason subliminals are not working for you? To begin with, I would just like to clarify subliminals. So there's a lot of affirmations on YouTube and online in general, probably thousands and thousands. There's a certain type which are called subliminals. I define subliminals as the affirmations where you cannot hear the affirmations. They're usually hidden under music or some sounds. The general belief is and understanding, because you cannot hear the affirmations, your conscious mind cannot resist them. Because your conscious mind cannot resist them, they bypass the conscious mind straight into the subconscious mind, where they directly influence and potentially reprogram your beliefs and conditioning. Because if the conscious mind got in the way, you may resist them. For example, if you're someone who is overweight and you're trying to lose weight, listening to affirmations such as I am slim, I am healthy may contradict with the way you see yourself, and you may resist the affirmation. So subliminals bypass that. Now let me draw your attention to the subconscious mind. So most of us understand the subconscious mind is where all of our programs, our beliefs, our conditioning is held, stuff that we've picked up throughout our lifetimes. All of the programs in there really influence who we are, what we do, how we live, and all of our behavior, actions and thoughts. So by changing that stuff, we can literally change who we are and have a different experience of life, right? So affirmations seem to be an effective way to do that. Now the issue, the problem, the #1 reason subliminals don't work, in my opinion, is because words are just not powerful enough to influence the subconscious mind. Words are just too flimsy, let's say. All the conditions and programs in your subconscious mind have probably been there for decades. They're heavily emotionalized. There's a lot of energy and emotion attached to them. Emotion is energy. Words don't have as much energy as emotion, nowhere near. So every time you're feeding these in, even though it's on repetition, these old heavily emotionalized programs are barely gonna budge. Not quick enough anyway. So language in of itself is not universal. Language is something that we learn. It's not something that we're born with. And we can even go to different countries and to speak in different languages. Our language, whatever it is, isn't even spoken worldwide. So it's limited. It's not intrinsic to who we are. If you were born in another country, you would know another language. Language is like the map. You might have heard that saying, the map is not the territory. Language is not the actual thing. Like the map is not the actual destination. It's just it's a map. It's some kind of diagram that is a reflection of that, but it's not the actual destination. Exactly the same way, words are not the actual thing. So we get lost in the words. The words have no power, whether you can hear them or not. So what am I suggesting instead? Well, I just touched on it before. I'm suggesting emotions and feelings are the easiest way, the most powerful way to influence and change your subconscious programming. Unlike words, emotions are intrinsic, universal. We're born with them. Everyone has them. Recently I've been around my nieces and nephews who are quite young. They're just a bundle of emotion. That's all they are. That's all we essentially are. That is the key to influencing and reprogramming the subconscious. So what I suggest people do is to listen to spoken affirmations instead of subliminals. In spoken affirmations, we hear the phrases said out loud, and that can act as a prompt for us to embody whatever the emotion is suggesting. So if the emotion is suggesting I am slim and healthy, we can embody the emotion and feeling of what that would feel like. If the emotion is saying I am rich, I am successful, embody what that feels like in the present moment right now. You can even attach a visualization or an image to whatever the phrase is saying. This is the most powerful way to influence the subconscious mind, using all three: the affirmation, the feeling, the emotion, and the visualization. That is where we're at our most powerful. I kind of broke this down a little bit for you. So I believe that 60-70% of our power in influencing subconscious mind is through emotion and feeling. About 20% is through the visualization, and maybe 10% is for the actual spoken affirmation or the subliminal. That's how little power words have. That's why subliminals are not as effective as other ways of reprogramming the subconscious mind. So this is what I suggest people do. Make time, listen to affirmations, really embody them, really feel them, really see whatever it is you're trying to create. This is work. It is. Like I say, subliminals are the lazy man's personal growth. To really have to listen to affirmations and do the work of embodying a certain emotion, a certain feeling, and then visualizing it, that's work. That requires effort. And to really make them even more powerful, it requires repetition. If you're doing what I've said every single day consistently, you're going to start to see drastic changes in your life. Trust me. You can still continue to listen to subliminals, but if you're not listening to spoken affirmations and embodying the feeling and the vision, you're really not having the greatest impact that you can have. I have another video actually called Emotional Reprogramming. You can check it out, I'll link it up here. I really go in depth on this. So please, if you're interested, go ahead, check that out. I'll get into the science as well. But the repetition thing is so important, because with repetition, you begin to rewire your mind and body to experience these emotions more often. If you're someone who has a lot of resistance to certain affirmations, you just can't see it, so you feel subliminals help you, I would suggest practice feeling the emotion or whatever it is you're trying to create or become. With consistent practice, you'll begin to override the old emotions. You begin to lay down new neurological hardware in your body that the emotions run along. But because them emotional pathways haven't really been used much, because maybe you're stuck in negative cycles, they have become inactive. You can start to get them active by practicing embodying these positive states on a consistent basis. Like I said, every single day. This is the quickest, most powerful way to influence and reprogram your mind. This is really all you need to do, but you need to do it consistently. 5 to 10 minutes minimum. If you can do more, better. The more you do, the easier it gets. The easier it gets, the more you'll start to find yourself just naturally embodying these states. You won't even have to consciously think about it. It'll become your default. Once it becomes your default, whatever you were trying to become or change becomes a natural byproduct of who you are. So do this. Honestly, the new year's around the corner. This is probably one of the best things you can do to create long-lasting, deep transformation in your own life. So I hope it helps. That is everything that I have to talk about in this video. If you have anything to add, maybe your own experience, maybe subliminals work for you. If they work for you, keep doing them. That's what I say, like, do whatever works. But for me, they haven't worked, and I know a lot of people they don't work for, and I kind of figured this out. This was why they didn't work for me. So yeah, go ahead, leave a comment. Have a happy new year. Otherwise, as normal, if you did like the video, if you could please go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your homies if you think this can help them out. Subscribe to the channel. Remember to hit the bell notification. And until next time, remember to keep living free and being free.